2 amateurs, a $5,000 abandoned boat, and one goal: turn it into a high-end luxury yacht and their new home. Desperate to escape their routine life in Florida, this couple gambled everything on a doomed vessel.
I'm getting nervous.
But with zero renovation experience, they walked straight into the most brutal challenge of their lives.
The storms are coming in. Ooh. The engine's going up. This is gonna be nerve-wracking. Holy backing plate rope.
Then put the filter back on.
Our beautiful bottom paint got all smeared and ruined, and it looks ugly.
That was one hell of a personal test.
It's a race to become master DIYers before they face total ruin. But he has one final secret hiding in his toolbox. If they actually survive this brutal year together, he's planning to drop to one knee and ask her to marry him. So, where did it all begin? A strange ad appears on Craigslist. Steal this boat. It has a ridiculous price tag of just $5,000. But that price isn't a bargain. It's a warning. Holes go straight through the hull and deck. The wood is rotted, threatening to crumble at a touch. The windows are falling apart. It doesn't even have sails, and the engine is old, ready to break down at any moment. It is enough to scare off the average buyer. But Matt and Kristen aren't looking for a ready-to-sail yacht. This Florida couple is looking for the ultimate fixer-upper. And this broken-down boat fits exactly within their budget. So, they hand over the $5,000, officially buy the floating wreckage, and decide to deal with the nightmares later. Matt is a former MMA fighter and pool builder who learns by taking hits.
Was it ideal? No. Did it work? Yes. Am I a genius confirmed once again? Absolutely.
Now, he's bringing that hands-on construction grit to the ultimate rebuild. Kristen is a veteran bartender used to managing chaos.
Time to hit sail, as I would say. I'm nervous.
In this project, she's the logistical brain, calculating materials and keeping Matt's wild ideas in check. And completing the crew is Bear, their 10-year-old cat, who never leaves their side. After securing the purchase, they spend a full year making cheap Band-Aid repairs just to get the boat floating. At the same time, they keep working their regular jobs, saving every dollar to fund their dream of a life at sea. Finally, they decide to put their patched-up vessel to the test. Named the Dead Dolphin, the boat embarks on a daring voyage from Fort Lauderdale all the way to Puerto Rico. But this wild journey quickly makes one thing perfectly clear: that $5,000 price tag was just the down payment. As the days go by, more and more parts of the aging vessel keep falling apart. The ocean exposes every shortcut they took. The ultimate test comes when they face the Mona Passage, one of the most dangerous and unforgiving stretches of the Caribbean. It is 40 hours of pure structural hell. Battered by heavy seas, every temporary patch threatens to rip apart.
It's getting pretty wild out there. It's been wild for about the last 2.5 hours.
And then, the engine stops working. Against all odds, running on nothing but fumes, they finally reach Puerto Rico. They survived a 4,000-mile journey, but the Dead Dolphin hasn't. It can't sail by itself. With the main engine not responding, Matt is forced into a desperate maneuver, using their tiny dinghy to propel 20,000 pounds of dead weight. The new plan is an emergency stop and a full assessment of the boat. They finally reach land safely, but the celebration is short-lived. They have to haul the boat out of the water, inspect it entirely, and face the true damage of their journey. The entire boat's weight will be concentrated on two narrow straps. Matt and Kristen hold their breath. The dead dolphin might not hold the operation. The boat survives the lift, but the hull looks like a nightmare. Marine growth covers large sections of the bottom, and rust is visible everywhere. Matt's confidence begins to crack. The most terrifying discovery of all is the keel, a huge hole and a deep crack run through the steel. The damage on the outside is undeniable. They are lucky they didn't sink at sea. Inside, the news gets worse. The main engine is barely hanging on. A new one alone will cost $15,000, 3 times what they paid for the entire boat.
The mixer elbow has completely broken off of the exhaust manifold. So I'm in a little bit bigger trouble here than I thought.
This boat is their home and life. It's all they have left, but it's falling apart. They have to make the biggest decision yet. Book flights back to Florida and leave the dead dolphin behind, or risk everything they have on a full rebuilding.
Should we just throw our old boat to the trash?
Throw old dead dolphin to the wayside.
What do you think, Matt?
No, we should stick with our boat.
They are going all in. They will rebuild this boat from the floor up, or go broke, trying. To save the dead dolphin, Matt and Kristen's plan is to tackle the exterior first, restoring the entire surface. Once that's done, they'll replace the engine and rebuild the rotten interior. But they can't afford to stay on land for long. Yard fees run $80 a day, so they're giving themselves just 10 days to get back in the water, where the renovation becomes far more affordable. After a deep pressure wash of the hull, Matt starts filling the holes and imperfections with an epoxy repair filler designed for boats. Now he can begin sanding, creating a smooth and level surface. Matt borrows the heavy-duty sander and proper protective gear from local pier workers, equipment that would have stretched their budget even further. Every inch of the hull and deck needs to be prepared for a fresh paint. The head sails are pulled out and taken off the boat to protect them from sanding dust and ongoing repairs. Replacing a damaged sail can cost thousands, and right now, they can't afford that mistake. As the work intensifies, the boat turns into a hazardous construction zone. They refuse to have bear living there.
Today is the day that we got some exciting news. We're now gonna get off the boat. We get an Airbnb, so this is where it really turns into a construction zone, and I'll really be able to rip it and dip it.
They pack their entire lives into boxes and prepare to move. Every night in a real bed will add to the burn rate, but for now, living on board isn't safe. The next morning, Matt faces a challenge most sailors dread: cutting into the deck. Soft spots underfoot have been warning him something's wrong. As he opens it up, the rot is clear. Years of trapped water have weakened the structure. If left unfixed, the floor could collapse under a hard blow. But the mast is the real threat. A rotten core could destabilize it, letting it fall and crash through the deck. Matt has never performed this kind of surgery before, but in the boatyard, his philosophy is simple. There is nothing he can take off that they can't find a way to put back on. Under the relentless sun, Kristen joins Matt, helping shoulder the grueling work of sanding. The surface is prepared. Now it's time to give the dead dolphin a new look. They decide to handle every step of the preparation and application of the paint themselves. Matt mixes the base and a hardener, but because of the Puerto Rican heat, they have just an hour before the mixture hardens and becomes useless. 2 layers are needed, so they both arm themselves with rollers and work in sync. It's a demanding task. The second layer needs to be applied before the first one dries. This ensures the layers achieve a chemical bond, fusing into a single shield and preventing peeling. Suddenly, the tropical weather turns.
When the rain comes by and soaks everything for 45 minutes and then goes away, and these 30-minute rain showers will cost you half a day by the time you clean up your entire work site, get everything changed, and then when it comes out, you pull everything back out, work for 5 minutes, then it rains for another 30 minutes.
Hours of meticulous work are threatened in minutes. For Matt and Kristen, these delays are frustrating and expensive. Luckily, the rain didn't ruin the hull paint, so they moved their focus to the deck. In a marine environment, a smooth, painted deck becomes as slippery as ice when wet. To keep themselves and Bear steady in heavy seas, they apply a specialized non-skid additive on top. As the hours pass, the scale of what's left begins to sink in. The hull still waits, the most visible part of the boat. And for that, good won't be enough. They're aiming for a flawless, mirror-like finish, and they won't settle for less.
Since we're putting in all this effort, Matt put in all that work sanding it, we want the best. So we're getting someone to air spray it at a good price.
Yeah, the master of all Caribbean painting, Salchich, is going to put the final gloss on for just the hull. We still painted everything else.
Salchicha joins to inspect the boat. With a pencil in hand, he begins circling Matt's low spots and uneven sanding marks.
He's going around with his pencil now and circling all my whoopsies that I either missed or made.
You got an F.
Not a great quiz score.
Okay, you probably got a C. They're professionals.
Yeah, they're going to do a good job.
Matt sanded the deck too aggressively and removed the gel coat, the outer skin that protects the fiberglass beneath. They are forced to apply 2 to 3 times more paint layers than they initially planned just to build the surface thickness back up. They use All Grip, a premium marine paint. It's expensive, but it delivers a glossy, mirror-like finish that stands up to salt and sun. The air sprayer atomized the gray base into a fine mist, allowing for a level of uniformity that rollers and brushes simply couldn't have achieved. To complete the transformation, a worker prepares the surface to give the boat its modern yacht identity. Using blue masking tape as a guide, They plan to create decorative stripes along the hull that will be painted in a different color. For the first time since Puerto Rico, the dead dolphin is beginning to show real signs of progress. The focus shifts to the deck and hardware. Every fitting and repair has been sealed. They're aiming to lower the boat back into the water this week. If it holds, they can finally move to the inside renovation from the water. After all the delays, Matt and Kristen have missed their deadline and already spent more than $2,000 in yard fees. They can't afford more mistakes. Every penny spent is one less they can put toward renovating the interior. Back to the exterior paintwork. Only the section below the waterline remains. Its job is simple. Keep barnacles and algae from sticking. It doesn't have to look perfect, so they decide to handle it themselves and save some money. The final coats go on, and the dead dolphin is almost ready. One night to cure, and tomorrow, the real water test begins. It's launch day. The tension is palpable. They have worked non-stop to reach this moment, and they will finally find out if the boat is ready for the sea. As the hull touches the water, Matt climbs aboard, carefully checking that no water is getting in.
Matt went in to check the through holes before they let go of the straps, and he's been in there for a long time, and I'm starting to get nervous. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to be patient here. I hope nothing bad's happening.
The hull is watertight. With a sigh of relief, they prepare for a short test run. As they haven't repaired the engine yet, they tow the boat with the dinghy. But as they approach the harbor, something's wrong. The steering wheel is not responding. They are forced to haul the boat back out of the water immediately.
The real problems, though, started arriving. First, we had our steering plate, bearing plate broke. Backing plate, and then we couldn't steer our boat. Then another issue happened. Part of our bottom paint got scraped and pushed by the straps of the lift, and it got all smeared and ruined, and it looks ugly. It was a splash day disaster. Not happy about it, but we're coming back.
The culprit of the crash is a steering backing plate, a vital pulley assembly that has disintegrated from 40 years of salt and neglect. Because the part is obsolete, it can't be ordered. It has to be handcrafted from scratch, and they have no idea how to do it. In the meantime, the yard crew sand down the damaged sections of the hull and apply a fresh coat of anti-fouling, giving it 3 days to properly cure so the straps don't smear it again.
Ooh, Salchicha made us a new backing plate.
The master painter reveals himself as a master fabricator, turning a lost cause into hope. From here, Matt takes over, carefully reassembling the system. On the first trial, the dead dolphin answers the helm. Control is back in their hands. Splash day number 2 arrives with a much higher level of confidence.
Today is splash day number 2, and everything's gonna go great.
All right, so here we go. Let's see if that transmission fix happens.
Matt tests the helm, and the boat finally responds. The engine works too, but it's still unreliable, a problem they'll have to fix soon.
We're back on the boat. We're back in the water. We're super excited. We finally get a day off. We want to go straight to the beach.
For the first time since the renovation started, they can celebrate. With their energy renewed and the boat's exterior looking brand new, the interior awaits, starting with the engine.
We're going to attempt to take out our old, rusty, dusty engine.
The 300-pound engine hasn't left this room in 4 decades. Getting it out will not be an easy task. When Matt disconnects the hoses, all that's left of the old coolant is orange, rusty water, a sign of just how deep the corrosion goes. The old engine weighs too much. It's not coming out. They improvise an ingenious solution using the boat as a third helper. The halyard, normally used for raising sails, is attached to the engine. And using the mast's winch, they crank it up from above, turning the mast into a pulley. The boat does the heavy lifting, while Matt and Kristen guide and control it.
I'm gonna try to get it out, but if it's not going perfect, I will back down. I'm not gonna drop a 300-pound motor on my head. I don't wanna do that.
They're tackling it themselves to avoid the cost of a professional. But if it gets too risky, they'll step back. The goal is to lift the engine out and slowly rest it on protective foam, keeping the deck safe from any damage.
It's happening. The engine's going up. This is gonna be nerve-wracking. Okay, I'm coming out.
The operation begins. A 300-pound drop would be disastrous. They move with extreme care. The engine is too heavy, and the rope gives way.
Oh my god. Why did that happen? Holy sh**.
Luckily, the protective foam absorbs the impact. They now have to take the engine to the shipyard, but it's miles away. With no car, they take a high-stakes shortcut, moving it by water. Mission accomplished. The old engine is finally out. A brand new one is on the way, worth more than twice the price of the boat itself. It's an investment that could redefine the dead dolphin's future. But while they wait, there's no time to lose. An entire internal renovation awaits. Demolition begins inside the salon. The old cabinetry has to come out to reveal the damage underneath. As Kristen peels back the panels, the truth is clear. The wood is completely rotted. It has to be cut out entirely and rebuilt from scratch. The old side bulkheads hold the plates that keep the mast standing. If they failed while sailing, the mast could collapse. Matt removes them and will rebuild the structure, giving it a stronger base to support the mast. For the replacement, Matt was tempted to save money on standard plywood, but he was advised that marine grade was essential to make it last. At $150 a sheet, it's a serious investment, especially since he's not a professional woodworker. Meanwhile, Kristen chimes in with the next point.
These pocket doors, he hates them and he wants to get rid of them. We don't use them. I don't mind them, and you know, if you want to shut a room, you have that option. He doesn't want them. He wants to move them so you can sweep the floor. They have the thing there, and I just don't care.
So basically, let me tell you about this. Hot pockets. This is our door here. As you can see.
No, now you're making me look bad. That one's broken.
Here's Maddie. But yeah, the pocket doors are gonna be gone because what did we say? We're gonna modernize our old boat. This thing sucks and they're horrible. They rattle around, they take up extra space.
You broke that on purpose for this, so I'd look bad.
Call the cops.
Throughout this renovation, different choices will spark a debate. The dead dolphin is the couple's home, and every decision feels personal. With the doors out of the way, Matt removes the big bulkheads. The plan is to use them as templates for the new sheets, so the removal needs to be careful. He's pushing just hard enough to separate the panels, but not so much that they snap. Space is a major challenge during the interior renovation. The new sheet is too large to pass through the boat's narrow doorway, so the work has to be done on the pier. The plan is to cut the sheet in two horizontally and rejoin it later, adding extra work, but it's the only way to make it fit. Working on the water brings its own difficulty. While staying in a slip saves $80 a day, the waves make every task harder, especially for precise woodworking. Matt turns his attention to one of the salon's weakest points, the old windows. They bought a new one as a test and couldn't wait to try it, planning to replace the rest later in the renovation if it works well. After all, it wouldn't make sense to turn the dead dolphin into a brand new yacht without first sealing any potential water entry points that could flood it. The glass is so clear that it almost looks like there's no glass at all. They had forgotten what it was to have clear windows. As work continues, the cabinetry can finally be installed. Once again, Matt relies on templates taken from the original pieces. The new cabinetry is engineered as one solid, unified piece. It is designed to be removable, allowing Matt and Kristen to easily detach it in the future to inspect the critical chain plates hidden behind the salon walls. He's thought of a solution designed for life at sea, while giving the interior a clean, modern look. Mechanical push-catch latches will keep the cabinets firmly closed. With a simple press, a spring releases the door, popping it open just enough to grab. For the sofa, the original fold-down was unstable, uncomfortable, and cramped, so he rebuilds the base from scratch. Now, the top platform slides out from the wall to form a bed larger than a twin, with fold-down legs strong enough for 2 adults. As Matt works, the tropical weather provides a grim reminder that the boat's exterior defenses are still failing.
The other day when it was raining, I just kind of looked in here, but there was so much water coming in I couldn't exactly tell where it was coming from. I believe it was this thing here, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm gonna go outside and start throwing some buckets of water around. It's coming?
I don't see anything yet.
Okay, I'm gonna pour some more. If you see it, just knock on this, okay?
Okay. Okay, I see it. It's coming out of the chain plate, I think. It wasn't coming out of any of the spots up here. It's coming out of, like, down here.
So I think I found the culprit. The other day when I went up my mast, I had tuned my rig pretty tight to, so I didn't have too much wobble up in there. And I think what I did was where I had sealed the chain plate with just some cheap silicone. I think that just moved a little bit. And in the heavy rain, I think from that chain plate, it just found its way inside the cord deck. So I think the chain plate is my culprit. To make sure that doesn't happen, because these aren't coming out anytime soon, I think I'm going to just go up there with some more silicone, tape it off, get some goo in there, and then that should keep the rain out of the boat.
Water is the ultimate enemy of any boat project. Matt is sealing every opening on deck to protect their hard work from leaks, while giving the ceiling a cleaner look. Only once the boat is watertight can the kitchen transformation begin. The Galley gets a total purge, a messy demolition down to a blank canvas, making sure nothing rotten or patched with Band-Aids is reused. The first replacements are the ruined, unreliable drawers that have jammed for decades. They used to swing open while sailing, so Matt builds custom units on stainless steel slides. He also adds mechanical push-button locks to keep pots and cutlery from becoming dangerous projectiles. Matt replaces the awkward floor-level bin with a custom slide-out trash can at counter height, making it easy to open and close. The entire rail system is designed to be removable, giving them full access to the sink if they need to make future repairs or updates. On a boat, easy access is key to avoiding problems down the line. Next, they tackle a heavy, useless cabinet that was so impractical it ended up just collecting junk. Matt destroys it, replacing the bulk with sleek bypass doors that dramatically increase storage depth for pots and pans. To keep the peace while sailing, he lines the interior with foam-backed vinyl, ensuring their dishes travel in silence even in heavy seas. For the countertop, they need a material that is lightweight and 100% waterproof, and PVC turns out to be the best option. The couple wrestles the oversized sheet through a doorway, barely wide enough to fit it, eventually cutting it down to size. Cheaper than most alternatives, PVC won't rot, swell, or attract termites in the tropical humidity. Sharp corners and moving waves are a bad combination. For safety, Matt rounds off every edge to prevent injuries when the ocean gets rough. They also create a 2-inch overhang for a custom, high-end look. But when they try bending it with a heat gun, the material bubbles like a burnt marshmallow, ruining the finish. Just then, they get the news they've been waiting weeks for. The $15,000 engine is finally ready. They drop everything and head out to collect it. Thanks to Salchicha's generosity, Matt and Kristen borrow his truck to handle the load, picking up the most expensive and heaviest piece of the project, the boat's new heart. After clearing the paperwork and handling the local taxes, the engine officially has new owners. Back at the harbor, the unboxing begins. Matt reveals a gleaming red 30-horsepower Beta Marine engine. Running at just 50 to 60 decibels, it's way quieter than a standard diesel, a total game-changer compared to their old rusty nightmare.
We are finally gonna put our engine in. The installation should go pretty easy, but it's not the engine I'm worried about, it's our boat. This thing's 100,000 years old, so is it gonna fit? What am I gonna have to change? Hopefully it just goes right in there and it's a plug and play. There's some prep work that has to go into that, so I have to clean out my engine room and it's time to get busy.
Unboxing the components felt like Christmas morning, but the excitement is quickly met with a reality check. The arrival of the engine has only highlighted how much structural work remains before they can finally install it and turn the key. With the workspace cleared, Matt faces a dangerous task: replacing the shaft seal. This component wraps around the spinning propeller shaft, allowing it to turn while preventing the ocean from rushing through the hole in the hull. After 40 years of salt and friction, the old seal is unreliable and must come off, but it refuses to move.
I've been beating on that thing for about an hour now. I haven't got even a hair out of it.
Desperate, Matt calls on Salchicha for help. It takes the intense heat of a blowtorch and a lot of patience to break the rust's grip and free the shaft. Matt then brings in the brand new replacement.
This is the part that goes on to keeps the water out of the boat, so this thing is muy importante.
Once the internal shaft seal is in place, Matt must perform one final underwater task: reinstalling the propeller. Finally, the engine can come in.
I'm not gonna say I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous.
Salchicha and the professional yard crew step in for the heavy lift, swinging the 400-pound motor onto the boat. Unlike the old engine, there's a lot more at risk. Matt is terrified. Fortunately, the maneuver the couple feared for days takes less than a minute. With 4 pairs of hands, the engine is safely in place.
So Chicha is the man. He got it in here. I was nervous. Definitely not the way I would have done it. I was scared. I was like a little baby boy about to start crying. But he got it in. You know, that's why you hire the pros.
They ensure the connection is perfectly aligned, since even a small imbalance could cause severe vibrations at high revolutions per minute. With the mechanical connection solid, Matt installs the life support systems, a seawater strainer to filter the ocean water that cools the engine, and a Raker fuel filter to protect their investment from the dirty diesel often found in remote Caribbean ports.
So now it's time to put the vent loop in. This is basically because our engine is at the water line. We have to get a siphon, anti-siphon valve up above the water line so that if something crazy were to happen, water doesn't come back through and end up going toward the engine. It all just goes away from the engine.
With the starter battery installed, they're ready to crank the engine. Fresh oil goes in, and the moment of truth arrives.
This plugged in and I have my battery hooked up. I'm just going to flick the key a little bit to make sure my power's good. Make sure that's running before I have to troubleshoot something. Then put the filter back on.
They can only hope nothing serious happened to the engine.
Aren't you excited?
I'm gonna crank that soldier boy.
The engine works perfectly. Matt forgot to reinstall the oil filter at first, leaving the system open and sending oil spraying everywhere. With that solved, the next phase is installing the 2 new control cables, one for speed and one for shifting. Both will run from the engine straight up to the steering pedestal. And finally, they bring in a brand new $2,000 wheel autopilot. This single upgrade is a total lifestyle shift for a 2-person crew. No longer tethered to the helm for 24-hour crossings, they can now step away to fish or actually sleep while the boat holds its course. He mounts a pulley ring to the wheel, creating a direct mechanical link to the new autopilot. The drive motor at the base provides the brawn to pull the belt, while the control box on the side acts as the brain. He must space them precisely. If the motor's magnets get too close to the control box's internal compass, the interference would send the boat in circles. Back inside, the bathroom renovation begins with the toilet, as Matt sets a base to achieve the optimal sitting height and ensure complete stability. Months have passed since they began this massive renovation, but now their worst nightmare is approaching. A hurricane storm is forecast for next week, threatening to cause serious damage to the boat. But until the storm arrives, Matt and Kristen keep pushing forward. The lower part of the shower's structural frame is rotted from decades of leaks. Matt rebuilds it from scratch and fiberglasses the area to prevent future damage. At the top of the shower, He fabricates a removable PVC niche to cover an old access hole, angling it backward to keep shampoo bottles in place. For polishing and painting, they clear the space to reach every corner. The final touch is a major quality upgrade. They plan to replace the stained plastic sink with an elegant porcelain basin. To finish the vanity, Matt applies a modern wood grain laminate to the upper cabinet. His skills are clearly improving with each step of the renovation. He builds custom push-lock doors with built-in mirrors, giving the vanity a sleek, modern touch. For the final countertop finish, they move to their Airbnb, where a stable floor makes the job easier. Matt applies heat to the epoxy mixture to release trapped air bubbles and ensure a clean finish.
Now, a lot of y'all are worried about Bear because you haven't seen her since we moved on the boat, but she's just living her best Airbnb life. Limitless couches, limitless bunk beds, limitless air conditioning. So, you know, she's being a sweet baby. She's happy, but she's kind of turned into a little stinker.
In the afternoon, the weather begins to turn. Matt and Kristen rush down to the pier.
The storms are coming in, getting windy, and it's not even the day the storm's going to be here yet, so I'm not feeling very good about this.
With a hurricane approaching, every item exposed to the wind must be removed before it's too late. The headsail fights back as the wind picks up in violent bursts. Finally, they manage to bring it under control and drag the massive fabric onto the grass to gain enough leverage to fold it. To prepare for the storm surge, Matt reinforces the dead dolphin with extra 1-inch thick lines. With the new engine in place and parts of the boat already renovated, there's too much at stake now. From above, they watch helplessly as the harbor disappears into gray mist and driving rain. Matt fears the boat may not withstand the fury and hurries back down.
Well, you better be careful because I'm not advising you to go out in this weather.
Everything appears in order until he spots a friend's vessel, untied and drifting. Against the fierce storm, Matt battles to secure the runaway boat, fighting to prevent disaster. He manages to tie it down just in time. Nightfall brings even worse conditions. Will the dead dolphin survive the night? The next morning, the sky breaks clear, and the week's forecast looks much better.
Just coming to check my ropes from last night. Still coming out to see if anything moved.
With the dead dolphin holding strong, they dive back into the renovation. After finishing the bathroom, they move on to the V-berth, their personal bedroom. Being at the point of the boat, the room is narrower and more compact, so every inch must be carefully planned to ensure comfortable sleeping. For the new walls, they install custom wood shiplap, but it's hard to follow the boat's natural curves with the straight planks. Next, Matt tackles the front cabinetry. He completely demolishes the original poorly built unit to create space for a modern, functional replacement. This area is critical because it hides the boat's chain plates and windlass wiring, requiring a design that prioritizes emergency access. Kristen specifically planned this area to store and use her laptop and other electronics, so the new design has an extra lower cabinet to maximize storage. As Matt finishes the new front cabinet, she begins painting the entire room white. This layer helps eliminate the cave feeling of the bow. Soon, they notice cool air entering the room and discover the next problem. A broken window, likely shattered by the hurricane's powerful gusts. Luckily, replacement windows were already on their list, and the new ones recently arrived. They quickly set about fixing it. To finish the space, the walls and ceiling remain. Matt and Kristen choose custom maple wood trim for laminating, carefully crafting each piece to fit perfectly and add warmth to the room. Trying to bend the new panel, it snaps at the corner. Rather than waste more material, Matt comes up with a solution. A custom maple trim piece that hides the seams and gives the room a polished, professional finish. Although the laminating looks perfect, they're not convinced by the white wood walls.
We're going to be tearing it out and replacing it with 1/4-inch PVC.
Trying to force the straight boards onto the curved wall caused sections to stick out, and the intense white paint looks terrible. They tear it all out and start over. This time, wrapping 1/4-inch PVC boards in high-quality, mold-resistant vinyl. For the ceiling, they install modern LED overhead lights. They're discreet and match the room's style. Now, the most transformative stage has arrived, laminating all the rooms starting with the bathroom. This is the final step before the finishers. Soon, the yacht will be complete. After nearly a year in Puerto Rico, working week after week on the dead dolphin, and learning through trial and error, the amateur labels are finally peeling away. Matt and Kristen have moved beyond simply making it work to truly making it perfect. The new bathroom door opens a full 180 degrees instead of sliding into the wall, instantly making the bathroom feel much more spacious. They continue the laminating work for the salon. Matt's technique is beyond impressive. By this point in the renovation, he's looking like a real pro.
You know what they call me here in Puerto Rico? They call me Larry Laminado. Because I do the laminating perfectly. I can do it.
In the Galley, the most challenging sections are the curves. Learning from past mistakes, Matt uses a heat gun to soften the rigid sheets, allowing them to bend smoothly around the rounded corners of the countertop. Because their new adhesive bonds instantly on contact, they use wooden dowels as a floating barrier. This allows them to line up the panel perfectly without the glue touching the wall prematurely. Once aligned, they pull the spacers out and let the laminate drop into place. The goal for the trash bin is to make the Galley's least glamorous feature blend seamlessly into the countertop, as if it weren't there at all. Precision is the priority for the new sliding cabinets, which replace the clunky door they previously hated. Matt laminates the face frame as one continuous piece because he believes seams are amateur. The old navigation station, a space they no longer needed thanks to digital navigation, is now being converted into a booze locker. The new cabinet houses an elevated fridge and a deep compartment that can store up to 12 bottles of liquor. With the kitchen complete, it's time to fix the boat's secret shame, the electrical system. Years ago, Matt had wired the panel with cheap lamp wires that once sparked and nearly caused a fire. To properly secure their home, he reroutes every line up the bulkheads and into the ceiling so nothing chafes while the boat is in motion. He installs 10 dimmable lights throughout the living area, giving the space the feel of a modern private airplane rather than a 40-year-old sailboat. Next, the control center gets a redesign. Matt removes the outdated AC fuse box and keeps the 115-volt and 12-volt systems separate to reduce fire risk. The new station features essential switches, a 12-volt outlet, and a battery monitor, giving them full control over their energy use. On the dock, a package has arrived. After years of washing clothes in a bucket, they finally splurge $1,200 on a 30-pound mini washing machine that can run their laundry entirely off solar power. To make it fit their lifestyle, they repurpose the aft cabin, once a pantry and makeup room, into a combination laundry room and garage. Before the renovation, the water maker was basically a piece of luggage under the couch. Every time they needed fresh water, Matt had to haul it out and run a hose to the sink. Now it has a permanent spot connected directly to the sink, so fresh potable water is always on tap. They finish the shower by installing the water valves and head. The hot water dial is purely for aesthetics, since they don't have a heater, but it fits the high-end look they want. The next morning, they focus on the hatches, the primary line of defense against the ocean. They considered buying new ones, but at $1,000 each, and with exact fits nearly impossible to find for such an old boat, it would have meant cutting into the deck. Restoring the originals was the only way to ensure an affordable, watertight fit without compromising the hull. The final stretch begins at the entrance, with just the companionway, the salon floor, and the sofa left to complete. For the companionway, maple sets the tone for a modern home, saying goodbye to weathered teak and leaks. The old floor was a minefield of gaps and splinters. To replace it, they chose vinyl planks in a beach sand tone. The color hides Caribbean sand. The surface is waterproof, and it's tough enough to handle their cat's claws. Lessons from the past have sunk in. Years ago, they used cheap fabric for the couch cover that shrank and metal zippers that rusted in the salt air. This time, they chose sunbrella fabric, UV-resistant and nearly indestructible in the tropics. Kristen handles the upholstery herself. After more than a year of relentless work, the tools are finally down. The renovation of the dead dolphin has come to an end. What started as a $5,000 warning is now a modern yacht that defies its 40-year age. It's easy to forget how far they've come. This project began as a boat filled with holes and rot, barely standing. Since then, they've survived a long trip through the Caribbean, an engine failure in the unforgiving Mona Passage, and faced the heartbreak of a splash day disaster that sent them right back to the yard. But they didn't give up. Far from family and friends and with no professional experience, they faced the full renovation of the boat head-on. They even stood their ground against the 70-mile-per-hour fury of a hurricane and worked non-stop to transform and care for every inch. The result is far greater than they could have ever imagined a year ago, when all they could think about was tearing it apart and abandoning their dreams of a life at sea. Of course, a project like this doesn't come cheap. The total price tag for this transformation came to $25,479. And by the end of the project, Matt has invested over $100,000 worth of man-hours into rebuilding the dead dolphin. But for Matt and Kristen, this boat is more than fiberglass and wood. It's their home. The result of years of persistence, long nights in the yard, and the belief that something broken can be brought back to life. Originally, the entrance had uncomfortable washboards. They replaced them with custom swinging saloon doors with mosquito screens, letting in the breeze while keeping the bugs out. Matt built a custom drop-down door for the electrical system, neatly concealing all cables and equipment. Kristen installed a Wi-Fi switch to control 4 lighting zones through a dongle. Fully dimmable and app-connected, they can adjust brightness or turn the lights off straight from their phones. After over a year stuck in port, the dead dolphin is finally ready to sail, and the family is eager to leave the dock behind. Bear is back on board, happy to be home again and reunited with his family. What Kristen doesn't know yet is that a big surprise awaits.
We're engaged. We just got engaged at the cave. I cried a little bit. I just gotta tell the world. I'm so happy. I just gotta tell the world.
I'm just happy that such a beautiful, perfect woman would be that happy to marry some old cuss like me. I love this woman more than anything on earth, and I couldn't go another day without being engaged with her. I love you, and I'm happy we're engaged.
It's official. We're fiancés.
And you're gonna be my wife.
The project that tested their home, their relationship, and their resilience in ways they never imagined ends with a forever love. More adventures will come from Matt and Kristen, and if you want to join the crew, follow their YouTube channel, Sailing Good, Bad, and Ugly.